Hi everyone, Gemma here, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing the new Pentel Fude Touch Brush Pen Colours. I'm very excited because I've been waiting to get my hands on these for what feels like forever. But before I get into my thoughts on this pack, my channel covers calligraphy, journaling and lots of stationery reviews, so if those are topics you're interested in, please consider subscribing for similar future content. Okay, let's get into this. First of all, the new pack of 12 seem to be sold out in a lot of places and you definitely pay a premium to buy them individually. As I knew I wanted to try all of the colours together, I decided to wait for the pack to become available. I had another look recently and found them split into 3 different packs on Amazon for a reasonable price. The new pens are split into season sets, spring, summer and winter. The autumn pack is available but contains pens from the previous set, so I skipped that one. The spring pack are pink floral colours, the summer pack are greens and a brown, and finally the winter pack are blues and a grey. Opening the pack up, I actually panicked that I'd gotten the wrong pens, because for those who don't know, Pentel make 2 very similar looking pens. One is a brush pen, which is what I wanted, and the other one is a felt tip, which I didn't want for this occasion. What I hadn't realised is that the new Pentel brush pen and the original brush pens are different designs, just to confuse things even more. So when I noticed that they looked different, first of all I thought I had bought the felt tips by accident, and once I realised they were brush pens I'd worried that I'd accidentally bought a knockoff version. They're not a knockoff version, it's just that the 2 designs are different. The originals have touch written on them, whereas the new ones have brush sign pen written on them. So how do you know how to tell the difference between the brush pen and the felt tip? Well, the brush pens have a glittery base, which is fairly easy to notice if you're shopping in person, but not as obvious online. The other way, and probably more effective way to differentiate them, is to check the nib. The nib of the felt tip is completely coloured, whereas the brush pen is partly white and just the tip of the nib is coloured. So if you're shopping online, check for the pictures of the nib. There'll often be pictures of the nib either bending or creating calligraphy as well, so look out for that. Anyway, moving on to my actual review, I went for all 12 colours. I thought they felt weird to write with at first and that they felt different, but I think that was just the fact that they're new and I've not used a new Pentel Touch brush pen in a while. Once I got used to that, they were fine, felt absolutely normal. In terms of the colours themselves, I was actually really disappointed. The colours looked flat. The original 12 colours were very vibrant and it's one of the reasons that I love them and use them so regularly. Now, arguably the colours in the second set are more muted colours, so that's why they might not be as vibrant, but I don't think that's the reason here, as even the brighter colours just don't feel as vibrant and bold. Now I want to discuss each colour featured in the pack individually to tell you what my thoughts are on them, what other colours they pair nicely with, and whether I'd personally buy that colour. First up is the light grey. Now this is probably the most versatile pen of not just this set but of all 24 colours. It's a very neutral colour, which means that it could be paired with lots of different colours, but it's also great for adding shadows. I won't list all of the colours that I believe these pair nicely with, as it's quite a few combinations, but my favourite pairings are with the grey blue, pale blue, turquoise green and the grey featured in the original pack. If you're not sold on the pack, I'd still very much recommend getting this pen on its own merits. Moving on to the blue violet colour, I think this is an okay colour, it's quite nice and pairs nicely with the purple from the original pack, the pink purple in the new one, as well as the grey blue. I think this colour would have benefited from being a bit more vibrant, as it just feels a bit lacklustre. This is one of the colours I kind of forget is featured, it's not particularly memorable, though this colour would be nice if purple is your favourite colour. I don't think I'd personally go out of my way to buy this colour. Now the next colour I think of as a pale purple, but it's actually called grey blue. It pairs nicely with all of the other purples in the new set, including the pink purple. Another colour I think it pairs nicely with is the blue black. I quite like this colour. I think this colour kind of represents the set in a way. It's much more muted. When I saw the set, the pastel shades definitely stood out to me, and I think this colour meets the expectation that was set. I think this is a colour that I would go out of my way to buy. On a similar note is the pale blue. It definitely fits with the aesthetic I think this pack was aiming for. I like this colour, I think it's pretty. It could have been a bit more vibrant, but at least it's unique. It also works nicely with the blue black and the turquoise green. This is a colour that I'd specifically go out of my way to buy. Now on to one of the biggest disappointments in the pack for me, and that's the turquoise green. This colour could have been really vibrant, a really rich colour, but the colour just feels a bit flat. I think they should have gone for a brighter teal, like this Crayola Super Tip. It has grown on me a little since the initial first impression, as I've used it here and there. It might also pair nicely with my journal next year, as that has dark teal elements on the cover, but overall I don't think I would go out of my way to buy it. Next is the blue black, but I describe it as a navy colour. I'm currently using this for this month's bullet journal theme, which is a Starry Night theme. This colour works best with pale blue and light grey. This colour is different enough that I think it would be worth getting on its own, and it's a colour I would buy myself. The pink purple is my least favourite of the bunch. It's strange because here I am criticising the colour range about lacking in vibrancy, and this is one of the bolder colours in the pack. And this may be a strange thing to say about a colour, but I feel like it looks cheap. It might be because there have been similar colours in the cheaper brush pen sets that I've reviewed in the past, so I associate it with cheapness. If I had to kick only one colour from the set, it would 100% be this one. However, it does pair nicely with the purple from the original pack, and I don't know why, but the combination of these two colours makes me think of Quality Street. Anyway, you can probably tell that I wouldn't buy this pen. Now, the burgundy is the biggest disappointment for me because burgundy is one of my favourite colours. I associate it with wine and pretty lipstick and warmth, but again this colour just feels a little bit off, which I feel like is a recurrent theme within this pack. A lot of the colours just feel a little bit off, and it's hard to explain why. The only colour that pairs nicely with this is the pale pink colour. If you compare this to Tombow 757, it's a much richer colour, and Crayola has another colour that I think would have worked in its place as well. It has grown on me a little since my first impression, but I still don't think I would go out of my way to buy this colour. The pale pink isn't a baby pink, but more of a blush pink. It's near identical to Tombow 772. I think it's okay. It pairs fairly well with the burgundy and the bright pink from the first pack. I'm a little on the fence as to whether I'd choose to buy this colour, but I'm leaning on the side of buy, because although it's not one of my favourites in the pack, I think there are times that I would use it. Moving on to pale brown, it's a bit of a non-colour, if that makes sense. It's kind of uninteresting, but fine. It's very neutral and pale. I used it for one of my autumnal paintings recently and it worked for that, but I think there were other packs that are more autumnal than the 24 colours. It does pair nicely with the brown and tan from the original pack, but overall I wouldn't buy this colour and I would kick it from the pack if I could. Onto the light green, I like this colour, it's one of the most vibrant in the pack. It pairs nicely with the other greens, and I think it would also pair nicely with floral doodles and paintings. To be honest, I feel like this should have been a colour included in the original pack, just like there's 2 shades of blue, and I would get this colour on its own. The olive green is the colour that I was the most surprised by. I really like this colour, it's warm and one of the more vibrant colours in the pack. It works really nicely with autumnal paintings and also pairs nicely with the other greens. I would definitely buy this colour by itself. So out of the 12 colours, I'd buy 7 out of 12 and I wouldn't buy 5. So that's quite a portion of the colours that I wouldn't actually buy. Obviously this is my opinion on what I like and dislike, but hopefully you can see from this video whether you would like to go for the whole pack or if you'd prefer to get individual colours, and if so, which ones. Some other colours I would like to have seen in this pack would be a baby blue, a lime green, lilac, coral, and maybe even a white. I feel like there's a real lack of white brush pens, which is tough if you like lettering on coloured card. So are they worth the money? I'm going to have to say no, not the complete range. Compared to the original set, these colours are a bit lacklustre. The original sets were basic colours, so probably more universally liked, whereas the new set features more niche colours, so whether you like them or not is probably based more on your own personal taste. I personally wouldn't recommend buying the whole set. I'd recommend going for a few individual colours instead, and that way you can go for the colours that most suit your personal taste. Right, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please consider giving it a like and subscribe for similar future content. Thank you for watching.